What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today we have the actual skill card for the new Light Warrior Vulcan. Now, his abilities seem very interesting. For any of you guys that are also playing Infinite Magicraid right now, DH Games new game, and watching our stuff on the second channel, his skill set feels like something that would be in Infinite Magicraid and not so much as in like Idle Heroes, but it's interesting to see that like almost like fusion of what they're doing with heroes in both the games. So let's jump right into it. He is a big AoE damage dealer. Let's see if he's any good. Let's go. Okay, so they did use the, what was this, like the 5-star version of him on here. He looks really cool. Vulcan, of course, is going to be in the light faction and a warrior. I think we're going to skip past the active ability at first. Let's move on to the second one and go over his passive and stuff, because it'll give us a better idea of his actual ability. So first off, combat readiness is his passive skill. That's going to increase his self attack, HP, holy damage, crit, and control immunity. Sadly, none of those work damage reduction, which usually means these heroes are pretty squishy. Granted, I think he might actually be a decent one for doing like Sealand 20 in the light faction, but overall, yeah, probably not. First passive, Holy Light attack, exactly what I thought it was going to be, modifying his basic attack, changing it to deals damage to random enemies with a chance to obtain a certain number of continuous cannonballs. Now, there's 3 different types of cannonballs that we need to talk about. The first one is continuous. You're going to get them through this. And then we have almighty ammo. So this one is where you get, it basically tells you how you get all the different ones. And then on the active skill, they modify the active skill. Cannonballs can be obtained via the following ways. So of course you can get it there, but then whenever an ally releases a basic attack or at the end of Vulcan's round, there's a chance of getting a continuous cannonball. So the same thing from his basic attack. Number 2, when an ally releases active skills, there's a chance of obtaining piercing cannonballs. These are going to be dealing with extra crit rate, I believe, on the hero. And then lastly, number 3, when an enemy dies, there's a chance of obtaining a shotgun cannonball. That sounds interesting. It says, when the limit of any cannonball is reached, self turns into the saturation attack status, which removes a certain number of debuffs from the self and grants themselves immunity to fear effect. I wonder if they mean, when they say fear, they mean like horrify. So like regular horrify plus Lord of Fear Aspen's horrify effect. Could be interesting, but saturation attack status is like we don't have a video of it just yet, so we don't know exactly what it is. But let's jump back over to the active skill, because this is a long one. Get your degrees out. Let's go. Terminator Cannon is the active skill name. Vulcan loads his cannon and consumes all cannonballs. Meanwhile, increases self damage reduction and grants self a shield and immunity to all control effects. Cannot restore energy during that time. Then extra effects take place based on the cannonball consumed. Now, this is the ability here that I was talking about. It feels very much like Infinite Magicraid style skills, giving yourself damage reduction, giving yourself a shield, and immunity to control effects. That's something in this game we've only really ever seen as like a baseline, like 100% control immunity. This one, we don't know either if this can be broken with the Rui Scepter, which is something we will have to test as well. Now, extra effects take place. Continuous fire. This is the one that you get from allies using basic attacks at the end of round, and when he uses his basic attack, each cannonball increases self attack. Straightforward, more damage, kind of cool. Piercing fire. This is the one, if we come back over here one more time, when any ally releases an active skill, you can get a piercing fire cannonball. Each cannonball increases self crit damage. Okay, so it's crit damage, not crit chance, which can be good if he has very high crit chance already. And then lastly, shotgun fire. This is when an enemy dies. Each cannonball increases all self damage dealt. That feels weird, but I mean, we're already hitting like all targets, I believe. I think it says when Vulcan acts the next time, deals damage to all enemies. Extra effects take place based on the cannonball consumed. So yeah, there's like multiple stages of this. It's pretty crazy. So I guess he loads the cannon first, consuming all of these things and getting like his effects based on that. And then if there's more, I guess he's going to deal damage to all enemies. Extra effects take place. Continuous, each cannonball deals damage to a random enemy, so one extra target. piercing cannonball. Each cannonball deals armor ignoring damage to random enemies with the lowest HP. So that kind of has some cool synergy with some Drake action. And then last one, it says shotgun cannonball. Each cannonball deals damage to all enemies. More damage. So very interesting skill set for him. His is all heavily reliant on his active skill, which in the past we would say usually people who rely on only their active skill is really bad because of the old carry meta, but really you don't see many carries in PvP anymore. You do see things like Lord of Fear Aspen with the 4th branch in the origin tree done with energy oscillation, draining the energy if they have a fear effect on them, but he can have immunity to fear, which is a very interesting combo here. Like the one thing that could drain his energy nowadays, he does have a way to become immune to it, which is interesting. The only thing questioning about his active skill is if this first part of the active skill consumes cannonballs, if there's none left over for down here, like if you have one layer of continuous cannonball, does that mean you only get the top one and not the bottom one? We will have to do some testing on this hero for sure. Now, the other thing we do have information on is the tenants for him. He looks really cool as an avatar. Like that avatar actually does look pretty cool. Eos, Tusilago, Andrea, and then a forest hero. Not bad tenants. It might be a cool hero to build as like a first E5 on an account, potentially, maybe. I don't know. It seems like it's pretty cool, right? It seems like it's pretty cool, but yeah, I don't know. I gotta think about the skills because it definitely feels like an infinite Magicraid style hero, giving himself shielding, because like giving yourself shield isn't something you see very often in idle heroes, but is rampant, is everywhere in infinite Magicraid, and getting immunity to all control effects as well, like control res is what we call it in infinite Magicraid, and it's over here. Something interesting to talk about. So let me know what you guys think. Now, we won't be testing him right as the servers go live because that is going to be happening on Thanksgiving Day, and I will not be around until Black Friday on Friday. So we'll have some videos most likely early on Friday, but don't look for either a stream or anything like that. Hopefully you guys have a good holiday. If you're in the US, I think the US is the only one that has Thanksgiving on this week. I'm pretty sure Canadian Thanksgiving is on a different day, and probably a lot of you guys around the world are like, what the heck is Thanksgiving? All I know is it's in events and there's turkeys and stuff. So extra rewards, I guess we can be happy with that. But let me know what you guys think about the hero. He looks interesting. Number one, he looks cool. Number two, his abilities are a little different than what we're used to seeing. I just wish his first passive would have given him damage reduction. The fact that it doesn't means he's going to be a little squishy, but the way his abilities sound, having damage reduction, shielding abilities, control immunity, stuff like that, he could be an amazing first hero to build on light faction instead of Eos or Russell to get C-Lane 20 done. So let me know what you guys think. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. See you guys next time.